I don't know about you, but my favorite country has always been Japan, with its music, language, yosakoi, clothing, and my favorite food such as sushi, udon, and wagyu. In my eyes, it's the best. It's a country built on spirituality, not politics. That is why it's peaceful, clean, and the society is collected. Now, no country is perfect. Yes, Japan has its problems too. Earthquakes, yakuza, and karoshi. But it's still heavenly. So it's no surprise that I always wanted to go to the land of the rising sun. But I have never traveled alone. Am I mentally prepared? How can it be achieved? When should I go? Well, last year I did.
Now then, let's rewind a bit. 2022 rolls around. I eventually receive an email from my college announcing their Japan exchange program. What an opportunity! So I applied. If it's Japan, sign me up! Days passed, and on March 4th, I was with my friends protesting against Putin's tyranny when suddenly I get a call. I run down, away from the highway noise. I pick up, and there's a woman on the other end telling me that I got into the program. I was ecstatic. Thoughts were rushing through my head. I ran back to my friends to tell them the great news. And so, after months worth of paperwork, waiting, traveling, applying, and more waiting, I got this.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
A Japanese visa. There's one thing I briefly have to say. Dear domestic college, thank you so much for this opportunity and for the travel grant. That's right. Everyone who got into this exchange program and applied for the travel grant got a check for their plane tickets worth. My college paid for my trip to and from Japan. Now, Canada wasn't the only country sending their students to study abroad. In Japan, I met students from Australia, Germany, France, UK, Norway, America, North Korea, Ukraine, and Russia. When I was filling out the travel documents, everyone was asked which city they wanted to study in. The choices were Tokyo, Hiroshima, and Nagoya. I chose Nagoya because it's peaceful, not as densely populated, and it's the cheapest to live in. Plus, the university tuition wasn't as crazy, and I'm happy with my decision. Anyway, I was placed in Nagoya University of Foreign Studies, or NUFS. Now that I've chosen my city, I had to choose from the 3 dorms beside NUFS to live in. My options were International House, Global Village, and the one that I picked, NUAS. I am soon to be a proud resident of NUFS-NUAS in Nagoya. I picked it because each apartment has its own kitchen, and overall it felt right. And boy am I glad I picked it because I met great people. And so, after much preparation, time, my adventure was on the horizon. On August 23rd, I left my city. I was excited and weary of traveling alone to a new place where barely anyone speaks English. Like, very select few speak English. I say goodbye to my cat. After 18 hours, I land at Chubu Centaur International Airport, located about 47 kilometers from my dormitory. I eventually found a group of students, and then we all met up with the university staff. After they made sure everyone made it, we climbed into a bus, and after 2 hours or so, at 1 AM, we arrived at the university's bus station, 300 meters away from the dorm. I was so close. I'm tired, but happy and proud that I am here. Bro, it is dark, I am tired, and Japan, oh, it is hot. We go into the foyer, the landlords greet us, they hand us our apartment keys, and slowly but surely we make it up to our floors via an elevator. There are 8 floors. The local girls helped us to our rooms. My apartment was 612. 6th floor, 12th room. Once I opened the door, it felt like a goddamn oven. She turns on the AC, helps me with the internet, and leaves. I was relieved, tired, and excited to start exploring this vast land. I make my bed and fall asleep. Welcome to the first chapter, everyone. My dorm and my home for the next 4 months. What can I say? It's lovely. It has everything you need. The first thing that I did, the one thing that I always wanted to try in a Japanese household. As you can see here, this is a stop button. This is just a regular wash. I never tried this. This is something similar. And this is like a bidet. I don't know what the difference is really. And this is the power from lowest to the strongest. I use middle. That's the recommended, usual, normal one. Alright, so once you sit down, you just turn it on and look at this. Oh god, stop. Let's explore my apartment first. In every Japanese household, you are met with a little shoe area called genkan. To the left, there's a kitchen area with a hot plate, cupboards, and a sink, along with a microwave and a fridge. On the right, there's a toilet room, literally an outhouse, but inside. Right after is the bathroom with a sink, washing machine, and a mirror. Then there's a section of shower/bath area. The bath is deep and short. Let's continue down the hall. There's a vacuum on the left. And we are now at the bedroom area with shelves, an office table with drawers, and an office chair. A bed is positioned on the right side and a closet. Finally, a balcony at the end of the apartment with a beautiful view. That's it. The rain season in Japan is usually between June and July. Right now, it's August, and after about a week since my arrival, the season was no more. There are even umbrellas for sunlight. That's how hot it gets during summer. For now, enjoy my slice of life. This is like a Truman Show, isn't it? There's a lunar eclipse at the moment happening. Check out the speed of those clouds, they're accelerating. Oh yeah. And the typhoon isn't even close. It's only gonna get much worse. The flash is crazy. Oh, okay, that was good. Thank you, good. Oh! Oh my. I know the camera. As an example, by the way, this is not my apartment obviously, but this is another type of apartment. It looks somewhat similar. The floor is different, but mostly it's the same, as you can see. Hair, 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 hair. So this is the pillow I got along with the blanket as a part of the accommodation. It's tough, so I bought my next pillow, which is this right here. I bought this at Daiso. It's way too soft. It's so insignificant. And then I bought another one. This one has a hole in it. You spin around at night and it falls apart. And goddamn, look at the inside of this air conditioner. Look at the filter. Not a single time did I experience an earthquake in Japan, where it happens the most. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. It's not a flag, no. It's just the sun and the sky. Basically, remember this: when Russians look up into the sunset, they will see a Ukrainian flag. La 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 la. So, this is the normal light, right? So let's turn it off and turn it back on immediately. See? It's a different mode. This is the pile of souvenirs I'm bringing for myself, my family, and my friends. By the way, yukata is something you wear during summer, while a kimono is something you wear during winter. Anyway, I got this yukata 2 weeks ago. I got myself an obi. I got a green tea as a gift from the obi shop. There it is, the belt. Making udon. Well, hey, this is pretty cool. Noodles, udon, udon, udon. A perfectly cooked egg. So when your package arrives to your dormitory, the caretakers take your package and then write your room number for those who have a package waiting for them. So check this out. This is the packaging in Japan. That is only in Japan. I've never seen this before. I'm making coffee. This is gonna be awesome. So welcome to my charging station. This outlet charges my computer, charges my phone, and charges my battery bank. My computer also charges my 360 camera. So this is my adventuring kit, which is currently my everyday kit because I go somewhere every day. Western keys like Usual keys have ridges on the side, but these have like little holes or something. I don't know what they're called, but this is the keys of Japan. And these are the floors. It's a nice elevator. Cool. So this is the elevator we just came out of. The door, and then a vending machine. Look at this, it's so fancy. Oh, hi. Perfect. Now, let's take a quick break here, because I want to introduce you to Ben. This guy is also from Australia, and he has traveled the most in Japan out of all of us, I believe. He got interviewed on national Japanese television.
Tenki is such a small town, because there isn't so many people, there aren't so many cars, so people don't. I'm more anxious I'm going to hit someone, like walk into them, than it is common to play cricket on a busy road.
That's fine.
It's a big crowd, that's all. Shocking!
How is it?
It's pretty damn good, to be honest. It tastes just like a chocolate milkshake. Here, try it.
Come here. This is the bag that the pizza came in. So, it's a square bag. I've never seen such thing before. So, this is one of my friend's apartments. He has a freaking disc. Someone tried to mail him a disc. Airbnb, we're going for the Tokyo trip. So I'm gonna pay him because he pays for everyone. The thing about this hot plate, it uses some kind of microwave technology. When I lift up the pot, it vibrates less. It still works, but when I get out of range, it senses nothing. Isn't that weird? So it senses when something's kinda close to it or on it. It's 1 AM and these blokes dialed up my phone and I let them in. They were apparently laughing outside, so now they're all here all at once.
You're welcome.
And who's this?
The coins, they were drying up, but I just don't need them.
But it's a shrine or some sort?
Sure.
Wow, so classy. To your face.
Wait. It's 1 AM. We're supposed to be quiet. No. The air conditioner was also a heater, so yeah, I switched the modes and now it heats my room as it's now like it's quite cold at night. So it is December 14th. I think in about a week or so I'm leaving Japan. Fuck, holy shit, everything is orange. This is my mailbox and somebody threw in a cookie with Victoria on it. So I think it was one of my friends. How wholesome is that? A cookie. Thank you. I just ordered sushi. It was delicious, and they have an ice pack in a bag, so to keep it cool. Isn't that cool? Welcome to my city, the home of my dorm, university, and my favorite Wagyu restaurant.
But Bogdan, didn't you say you would live in Nagoya?
Not quite. I was surprised too. You see, Nagoya is the capital, which is close enough, I guess. The city, like many others in Japan, is clean and beautiful. Of course, there's a 360 video with more footage available. Since I mentioned Wagyu, let me introduce you to my favorite yakiniku place that serves Wagyu, known for its marbling, high price, and magical flavor. I am talking about the Nagoya specialty Miso Tonchanya Nagakute hormone, which I adore. Aside from other meats they serve, Wagyu ones are to die for. It melts in your mouth and is perfect with salt, pepper, and toasted sesame seeds. My two favorite Wagyu dishes there are domestic beef kalbi and domestic beef upper loin. The first one is loin pieces with sesame seeds and pepper, which is my second favorite. The second one, my favorite, is thin frozen Wagyu slices drizzled with oil, salt and pepper, making it a flavor bomb. Clearly, one of the cool aspects of a yakiniku place is grilling your own food. When ordering meat, they ask if you want salt or tare sauce. I chose salt every time. I did try tare once. It was nice, but it didn't hit me as much, so I recommend salt.
Ready. Mr. Krabs, I'm ready.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
You feel it? Oh, I feel it so good.
Come done. Forgive me. Forgive me, Father. For I have sinned. I don't like it when my meat gets wet.
Sugakiya is a lovely mini restaurant in a pachinko machine building beside the yakiniku place. Its menu is mainly ramen, but also serves dishes like rice gyoza, curry, and crispy chicken drumsticks, to name a few. My favorite dish there is red spice oil ramen, is what I call it at least. It's delicious and is just under my spice limit. FamilyMart is the largest Japanese convenience store franchise. It has snacks, alcohol, drinks, ice cream, juice, dairy products, poultry, pre-packaged dishes, delicious fried chicken called Fami chicken, steamed buns, medicine against hangovers, and more. They play anime-themed ads and have an ATM along with chunky manga magazines that might sometimes be spicy. The And Cafe public house has fun menu items such as chicken wings, tiramisu milkshake, alcohol, amazing burgers with fries, and even good pizza, to name a few. It reminds me of a cozy forest cabin or a tavern with a relaxing atmosphere. Welcome to Hamazushi, which means rotating sushi. I am sure you've seen conveyor sushi in movies, anime, and western cartoons. Conveyor sushi is the most fun kind of sushi restaurant, and going to this place is easy. You enter, tell the ticket machine the number of people and where you wanna sit, a counter, a table, or let the machine decide for you. Then you find your seating area and order from the tablet menu. Sushi gets made and is then sent to you via one of the two conveyor belts. Depending on the sushi type, other dishes, it might take longer to prepare, so you know it's fresh. If the item is not stable, like the ice cream melon soda, a waitress will bring it to you instead. Overall, it's my favorite sushi restaurant. There's one dish that you might find unique: the shirako, or milled sushi.
I'm not eating the second one.
Creamy, milky, and a little watery. Just a bit salty.
This is what happens when you mix Japanese food with American. You get sushi hamburgers. So this is an egg custard. The puffer fish has arrived. Let's try it, eh? Jesus Christ.
The first shrine I've gone to is the Keiko Tennosha shrine, the smallest one I've seen with a pretty view. There are engraved stones and statues along with gravel between paths. Usually, temples have a unique kind of goshuin, or a stamp. You can also get a goshincho, or a stamp book, to collect stamps from temples. This is my friend's stamp book with the shrine stamps he collected. Sanuki Kamaage is the best udon restaurant I've been to. Right as you enter the place, you can see the kitchen preparing noodles from scratch. It's a sight to behold. After ordering a dish, you take your tray and slide along the rail and pick your sides like at a buffet. Fried shrimp, raw eggs, etc. Speaking of raw eggs, yes, they have a reputation of carrying salmonella, but I've had raw eggs myself many times, well, when I never got any salmonella anyway. And in Japan they take care of eggs, they clean them very well basically. Overall a great udon experience, fresh and delicious. Welcome to the best tonkatsu place. Tonkatsu by Maison serves its main dish, you guessed it, tonkatsu, the breaded, deep-fried pork cutlet along with some shredded cabbage, rice and miso soup. I've been there only once with my pals. We also had sake. The Roku Go Stand, which means 365 stand, is a homely cafe with different interesting savory and sweet bread dishes, along with ice cream and drinks. It has 2 floors, a lovely place indeed. Fujigaoka Station is one of the train stations in Aichi that I always used to get to Nagoya to get to other cities by another train or Shinkansen, the bullet train. Right beside it you will come across Miraizaka, a restaurant mainly oriented around deep-fried tempura foods, surprisingly delicious cabbage with sauce and most importantly drinks and nomi hodai. If you go with a group and someone wants to get the nomi hodai, everyone has to order it as to avoid exploitation of sharing drinks. There's also a closed smoking area and thank goodness there's a door cause it stinks. Miraizaka rocks when you eat and drink with your friends. I went there on several occasions, such as hanging out with my Japanese buddies, celebrating Christmas and Luke's Tanjobi.
I want to cheers! Cheers! Stand by! Drink my goddamn cup! You fucking too, I don't give a shit. Yeah! Yeah!
Fun story, some of us and I sent out pictures to each other through airdrop, and some were questionable. Oh yeah, how do you like Japanese Santa Claus? Santa Clauses? Santa Clausai? Book Off Plus is a book, CD and manga store, my first official manga store. However, I didn't buy anything there. I've seen many familiar mangas and what manga actually looks like. Bronco Billy is a steakhouse diner. The food there is good. An enjoyable experience. I had pumpkin soup, a shish kebab and a steak. Of course, you may check out their menu. The AEON Super shopping center has a food court, supermarket and much more. I even got to try Baskin-Robbins ice cream for once since I couldn't find any stores in Canada. The ice cream's tasty with many unique flavors available. AEON Super also has many different Japanese souvenir shops. So, I am sure you have done taxes, right? Well, I had to do mine in Japan also. Had to take a bus to the Nisshin City Hall to do taxes. However, there was also a firework event at the City Hall with Yosakoi. A ton of people and vendors with much food to sell showed up. It felt like a carnival. Plus, the fireworks were the best I've ever seen. The Farmer's Kitchen The Gram is a farmer's market-based restaurant. It's like a fancy school lunch buffet. You pick the protein, sides, etc. This was my order. There was also ice cream, and guess what kind of flavor caught my eye? Sesame seed flavor, which only exists in Japan. It's normal ice cream but infused with the toasted sesame flavor. I loved it and enjoyed the restaurant design. However, my Japanese body didn't like the flavor. Liquor Mountain is a liquor store. That's all there is to it. If you watched Spirited Away, you might know of the Onsen, or the hot springs / bathhouse. Nagakute Onsen Guzarasse was a bit of a walking distance away, in addition to a bus ride. I obviously got no footage of the onsen itself, but let me tell ya, it's like a swimming pool complex but with hot tubs of different shapes and sizes with varying elevation within an enclosed area. In some pools, water is pink or blue, though that didn't help in covering all the naked Japanese. Culture shock. For the Japanese, bathing naked with each other is a form of bonding, cleansing one's soul. My Japanese buddy was also shocked that the rest of the world doesn't do that, because we feel embarrassed. I went to a Japanese onsen only once in December after studies have ended to relax myself. One medium shallow pool has pink water, a big pool where people lay on their backs or fronts. In the center is the tall round pool with hottest water and stairwell leading up to it. There are also two posters on the pool tower from Spirited Away. One is of Chihiro close up underwater swimming on the dragon, and another of Yubaba staring at you. Quite the contrast. Pizzeria Marino is a restaurant of Italian origin. The interior is very inviting and Italian. I went there once with my friends and people from another dorm. The pizza I had was great. And yes, speaking of pizzas, Japan has Domino's too. However, Japanese Domino's likes to throw weird ingredients together on your pizza. I wouldn't really order Domino's pizza there unless you really want to. I recommend Pizzeria Marino.
You don't need any more.
But that's just that one.
When you open this one, it'll come out. Put on your mouth before you open it, because once you open it's gonna... There's key, you have the key. Does that work?
So, I only got one single haircut in Japan at the very end of my journey because it wouldn't be fun explaining what cut I wanted in Japanese. I went and found Tenki-yoho barbershop, a typical nice place. After a haircut, which by the way was the best one I ever gotten, my hair was then washed and scalp massaged. I was given a choice between 3 shampoos: grapefruit, mint, and lavender. I picked lavender. Everything came down to $50. Japanese buses are not that different from their Western counterparts, however they have a money exchange machine and a ticket system within the bus. There exists 2 payment methods for buses and 1 for trains. When using cash for a bus, you would grab a ticket from the machine upon entering. Once at your destination, you put the ticket into a machine by the driver, which will display the due amount. You insert the amount and that's it. The second method is by transportation cards, as I call them. There are several brands. Many of us got the Manaka card. You put okane on one at the train station. They are used for buses and trains. For buses, you scan the card upon entering where you would normally grab a ticket if you paid with cash. At your stop, you scan the card again by the driver and the reader tells you how much you spent and have left. By the way, many businesses may only accept cash. Just gonna throw that out there. so prepare to withdraw money every now and then. Three Little Pigs is a dining restaurant that serves ramen dishes, shaved ice, other desserts, and tempura dishes, to name a few. The decor is fancy, cafe-like. Pleasant experience. One time I ordered a mystery ramen. What I got was a spicy, tasteless mess. Don't worry, it was just that dish. The food there is good.
Harlem Shake in a Japanese restaurant in 2022. I can appreciate that.
For you car lovers out there, Toyota Museum is the place for you. The museum is vast. I've never seen so many cars from so many time periods. It's insane and fascinating. I think they have 3 floors of cars, with miniature models from different times in one area. And a moving projector newspaper style with Toyota's history in the other. This is it. The sole reason I am in Japan. To study. Welcome to NUFS, my university. First off, everyone needs a residence card. Without it, you'll be shipped back to your country in a box. I got a paper copy at the Japanese airport. On September 7th, during the university's orientation day, we got our student cards and a student email. After orientation, the students handed their passports and paper residence cards to staff, and 2 weeks later, we got our physical cards. Eventually, everyone applied for a bank account so that the university could send student funds to whoever does well in classes, which is amazing. $500 is nothing to scoff at. Everyone used the same bank as it fit the ryugakusei needs. Quick note, students may get a 20% discount coupon for a Shinkansen ticket. As many times I think, I don't know if there's a limit. I and the majority of students studied for 1 semester. Some got to stay longer afterward, like my German friend Sebastian, who got 1 more semester for Genki 1. Gampete ne Sebu-san? I should ask how he did. And Ben, the Japanese TV star, is still in Japan as of June 2023. Everyone then picked either a semi-intensive or intensive curriculum. I picked semi-intensive as not to suffocate myself. The intensive course is Japanese only, and you would complete the entire Genki 1 book. Let's hope those who chose intensive made it. As for the semi-intensive, it requires you to do half of the book, but you gotta add 3 more Japanese culture classes. I chose Omotenashi, Japanese movies, and anime and manga. We then got our Genki 1 book and workbook. There are 5 language levels and I am level 1. Quick note, only Japanese and omotenashi senseis are of Japanese origin. The movie's sensei is probably American, and anime and manga's probably Indian. And of course I think they were both fluent in Japanese, which is amazing. Let's discuss the campus. Out of all the buildings, we will only focus on 3 that are relevant to my story. First, Communication Plaza. Its main purpose is student support/studying. It has 3 floors. The first floor has a photo booth, a small cafeteria, and a tiny library. On the second, a study area with computers.
No, Japan, how could you betray me?
And on the third, the student support office with student mail slots where you would retrieve excursion/trip forms from. There is also a 7-Eleven store on campus, which is really convenient. Fun fact, 7-Eleven stores in Japan don't have gas stations. It's just a store. Next, Building K is where my manga and anime classes took place.
Hey yo, what the hell is going on? There's water falling down. The hell?
Interesting.
With Japanese authority and buttons.
Oh yeah, wow. Let's see that. Oh man. Yeah. I don't think I like it. I think it's
And finally, the East building with my Japanese and hospitality classes. There's also an atrium section next to K building with the main cafeteria. One of the delicious aspects of the campus is the various food trucks on it. And holy crap, my favorite food truck dishes are chocolate whipped cream bean paste crepes from the crepe truck, and the fattest, tastiest burrito with a delicious Mexican yellow hot sauce from the shawarma truck. Best burrito I ever had. Now, the classes themselves. The standard duration of any class is 1 hour and a half. First, the Japanese language class. On Monday, it started at 10:50 on the 3rd floor with a female sensei, and on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:10 with a male sensei on the 2nd floor. Both were totemo yaseshi, modest and supportive. The most likable teachers you can have. Since I mentioned days of the week, every day means something. In this course, we had 3 quizzes. Type 1, lesson, Use newly acquired knowledge to complete multiple choice questions or write in blank spaces. Type 2. Vocabulary. Memorize word translations and how to write them. Type 3. Kanji. Remember how to write and its sound/meaning. This type came a bit later.
Middle, half, down, up, weekday, soil, money, tree, water, fire, moon or month, person, book, day. Hey, Bob, what you drinking?
Energy drink. Tastes like cough syrup.
Ah, okay. So, you ready to get them studies going?
Let's do it 1 hour before the test.
We have about 1 hour and 30 minutes before the test.
Yep, this is my first study of the session.
Oh yeah, lovely.
For the midterm and final exams, we had written and speaking tests. Speaking was done in the communication plaza with the male sensei. The final exam was good and had everything we learned this semester. Let's talk about Japanese writing systems. There are 3 in total: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. When writing, usually 70% of hiragana is used, 0 to 10% of katakana, and 20 to 30% of kanji, or 7 to 1 to 2 in ratio. Kanji are Chinese characters that are like pictograms that look like something and are complex. But hiragana and katakana are Japanese that both sound the same with the same number of letters, or phonetic symbols as they are called. Hiragana is the basis of the native language. Katakana is used to write adapted foreign words that sound like English, such as coffee or kohi, keyboard or keyboardo. By the way, the little quotation marks beside the symbols are called dakuten, and the little circle is handakuten. They change how symbols sound. Dakuten makes the symbols hard as such: ha, ba, ta, da, ku, gu, ho, bo. Katakana is the same. As for the handakuten, it makes the p sound as such: ha, pa, fu, pu, ho, po. The handakuten only applies to a few symbols though. As an example, my name is spelled with katakana, as it's a foreign word with 3 dakuten. Bogdan, without them, it would have been hokutan. Also, America's favorite, McDonald's. Took me a while to get the pronunciation down. Makudonrudo. For a beginner, you only need 2 systems. The addition of kanji in writing makes text look better, diverse, and is crucial anyway. Plus it saves space. A simple example would be watashi or I in hiragana and watashi in kanji, which makes it look short, unique, and it stands out. One more, money or okane is better when the kanne kanji is used after the o hiragana, okane. So, how did we learn Japanese besides the usual writing, speaking, and getting called out by our senseis? First we played locating a certain hiragana and katakana card from the pile. The team who finds it gets a point. In the end, we were tied. Teamwork! There was also Pictionary, where both teams took turns drawing what sensei whispered to both players in Japanese, while the rest of the team members tried to guess what their member is drawing. We also made up dialogues with newly learned words, sang, guessed what color Tanjiro's Haori is, Japanese hangman, whatever this is, te forms.
はい。じゃあ電話する。電話して。来る。する。して勉強する。勉強して。そうですそうです。はい。OK。魔術は英語でマジック。魔術師はマジシャン。修行中は on the training。そう、魔術師 the magician practicing magic on the training。皆さんも読んでください。魔術師魔術修行中。
Permitting someone to perform an action, drawing shitty school signs, selling and buying items, how much something costs, and much more. Also, as part of the final project, we had to come up with a play to perform in front of our class and some Japanese students. Before I show you my play, here's Dylan's.
すみません、400円ください。本当ですか？ 400円の開けません。1000円から開けます。ごめんなさい。でも私は猫の食べ物を買いに行きます。猫の食べ物は400円でしょ。私の可愛い猫は食べ物がありません。
怖いですね。おはようございます。
もらってもいいですか
8万円もらってはいけません。たくさんの金ですから。
そうですか。じゃあお金をくれなかったらこの猫を殺すよ。
命が9つあります。
弾丸9つあるの？弾丸の9つ持ってきて、あなたは人が死なないと言っていました。大丈夫？ヒナは死なないけど、あなたを殺す。お金を持ってください。
でも動かないでと言ってました。
そうでは。お金を持ってきてください。
でもここで働いていません。
誰がお金を持ってきてください。
もしもし。今銀行の強盗にいます。いいえ、強盗じゃないです。私は強盗ですか？
いいえ、私たちですよ。
じゃあ私は天国に行きます。お父さん、お母さん、お兄さん、お姉さん、妹、弟、おばあさん、おじいさん。
1円が欲しいですか？
もちろん。いえ、大丈夫。
それでは私がもらいます。
はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。
おお、近接が来ますよ。近接が。
マジで。
窓開けてください。
どの窓？
ドアの左の窓です。どうしてですか？ちょっと暑いですから。うるさい。窓を開けないでください。警察が来るから。
大丈夫。警察は窓から去ることをしています。
猫さん、どちらのチームいますか？猫の食べ物があるチームです。
すみません。お母さんです。今、あなたのお母さんですか？大丈夫、話してください。ありがとう。 もしもし、お母さん？何？私がテレビに？こんにちは、お母さん、こんにちは。
お母さんは嬉しくないですか？いつも嬉しいですね。どうしてですか？
そうですよ、2人は有名なテレビのモデルです。
やめろ、私たちは警察です。
何？じゃあ、私が猫じゃない。警察です。せーの、始めましょう、始めましょう。大丈夫じゃない。大丈夫じゃない。心配しないで。ここにあるから見て。私が本当のことを。
今一緒に食べ物を食べましょう。
どうして？
大阪で買いました。大阪弁です。おめでとうございます。
Please enjoy.
Ohio. Ah, いい天気ですね。でもちょっと寒い。すごくお腹が空いた。どこに行きますか？何を食べようかな。ちょっと待って、今何時ですか？午後4時？じゃあ、こんばんは。いただきます。私は寂しいです。これだ、これ。爆裂うどん。じゃあ、中に行きましょう。綺麗なレストランですね。いい匂い。
いらっしゃいませ。大変申し訳ありません。レザーバーションがありますか？
すみません。レザーベーションがありません。でも、入ってもいいですか？
何人ですか
？1人です。
そうですか。ちょっと待ってください。こちらでいいですか？
ありがとうございます。
メニューをどうぞ。
どうも。
すみません。英語のメニューがありますか？こちらになります。
全部美味しそう。すみません。おすすめは何ですか？
私たちのおすすめは爆発タコうどんです。
じゃあ、爆裂タコうどんとビールお願いします。
どうですか？わかりました。ちょっと待ってください。爆発タコうどんとビールどうぞ。ありがとうございます。
何これ？美味しくない。まずい。3点。でも、ここは静かなレストランです。03、久しぶりですね。
久しぶりです。お元気ですか？
元気です。セバスチャンさん、一緒に食べましょう。
私はお腹が空いた。どんなレストランが好きですか？
美味しい食べ物のレストラン。
私は有名なレストランが、アメリカのレストランです。美味しいのハンバーガーがある。一緒に行きましょうか？
行きましょう。
お客様、お客様、よくいらっしゃいませ。
あ、フィレオフィッシュを2つください。
すみません。フィレオフィッシュはありません。
そうですか。テリヤキチキンを2つください。
テリヤキチキン？おお、テリヤキチキンはとても大好きです。もうありません。すみません。テリヤキチキンはもうありません。すみません。
本当ですか？フライドポテトサイズください。
何かありますか？
サイドサラダ。マクドナルド。ハンバーガー食べます？ハンバーガー？いや。サイドサラダ。はい。お客様、サイドサラダ買いました？
肉がありますか？
サイドサラダ。
大丈夫。
ありがとう。ありがとう。
これはとても美味しいね。
わかります。サイドサラダ、最高。
このサラダ美味しいです。でも、ここは静かじゃないレストランですね。
そうですね。
And so, after the final exam, the semester was over. The final memory of the Japanese class is the group photo. This was the only time I got to see everyone's faces all at once, because we had to wear masks inside and outside at all times except when at home. Oh well. So, why don't we move on to the next class? Japanese movies. The entire course was about exploring famous old Japanese movies and answering questions about them online. There isn't much else to it. Some of the famous movie titles we explored were The Seventh Samurai, Hoichi the Earless, Kwaidan, Tokyo Sonata, and Grave of the Butterflies anime, to name a few. This happened only once, but we were assigned to reenact one of our favorite scenes from The Seventh Samurai. I chose a part where Kikuchiyo started complaining about the farmers and how bad they are. I put on my Ukrainian cap and then I basically put 2 pieces of cloth on each side so it looks like a helmet with a protection on the side, you know? It worked out really well for me. That sums up the movie class. Next is the Omotenashi or Japanese hospitality class. It was on Thursday at 10:50 and it was odd. First off, the sensei was good, smart, and he worked at a news network prior to teaching. But the way he taught was unusual, yet interesting. I am not complaining, but he never gave us any assignments except for midterm and final projects. One of them was to make a group presentation about your culture. Luckily, there was a Ukrainian girl in my class, so we presented our culture together. Fun fact, and I kid you not, the sensei looks like a Japanese Donald Trump. He got the suit and the yellow hair. He is of Japanese origin, but was also raised in America, so he is fluent in both languages. In every class, he spoke of Japan's cultural complexity, how there's a hierarchy system, hidden subcultures in Japan. There's a lot we don't know.
She came back again, and she said, "How is the coffee?" That's the most impressive part. The person is coming back to me with my satisfaction. And so I was quite convinced that the Starbucks was educating their staff pretty good. You know, the problem with the Japanese working environment is that we have a very complicated human relationship. And a lot of Japanese workers are pretty much worn out with this stress of going through this humanistic relationship, which is not productive, which is not making any efficiency. But with the Starbucks, I was talking to my former students that he's then the manager of the store. He wanted to make a team to compete the quality of service. So instead of picking on somebody and say you are not doing your work, or they will always work as a team to compete the product and the outcome. And so that way, as a team, they'll always compete. Sometimes they have a strong competition, but within a team, they always have a strong teamwork.
We also got a copy of the Etiquette Guide to Japan book, even though we didn't read it, but it's still a good book. Every class we sat and listened as he walked beside us, expressively telling us the stories. He showed us how guests are treated at home with green tea, ocha. He showed us a Hawaiian uncle named Uncle Clay and his way of aloha. One memorable story our sensei told us was how a Japanese couple went to the same restaurant for many years, and then one day they stopped coming for a while, until one day the husband came back alone. The staff knew what had happened, so they put a picture of his wife at the table where his wife sat. That's hospitality, going all out. My last course was anime and manga. It was on Wednesday at 4:40. This class was informative on manga genres, panel and art types, when to put extra detail on panels to catch viewers' attention, and how simple or realistic should your manga look. Manga creation is a complex process, and I don't wanna stretch this video any longer than it has to be. By the way, there was only one assignment. We made our own manga for the final project. Take a look at some of my talented classmates' work. Luckily, you only get points for using the knowledge, and your drawing skills don't matter. Oh, thank goodness. It was also the hardest project I worked on at NUFS. During our class, we would usually listen to sensei's presentations and analyze different mangas in groups.
Haven't seen this intro in years. Jesus.
My hard work paid off, because I got B for Bogdan in Japanese and anime and manga, A+ in hospitality and movies. Let's talk about another great aspect of NUFS, clubs. There are plenty of clubs you may join. I picked the green tea ceremony as it always fascinated me, and it did not let me down. The first class was free, then it would be I think 10 or 15 bucks per lesson. It took place in the club building once a week. We got to watch the master and her students perform the ceremony, and then we made our own tea. As part of the ceremony, you also get chestnut paste in a wrapper.
ちょっと少なくて、ちょっと too much, yeah. Okay.
はいはいはい、ありがとうございます。
はい、そこに入れて、今度が引きびしゃくね、引きびしゃく。ここで大きく回して、はい、そのままスーッと上がって。
One other story I have for you is that the university was looking for volunteers for a photo shoot for promotional purposes. I read the rules and I decided to go in my costume. Once I was there, Liam saw me and thought I was Doctor Strange. I had to take off the costume as it was too fancy. I had to make sure they put in the rule for anyone who decides to do cosplay for photo shoots again.